why are little kids learning about gender stereotypes in careers when they're still coloring in their coloring books? They're not even thinking about how Delta treats women versus men, okay? They're not even thinking about how Walmart has certain parameters against men and all the pay inequality in gender. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, this is absolutely, like, what is she talking about? What's up, guys? Welcome to Let It Be Heard, where we are doers of the word, not hearers only. I'm your host, Jaden.heard, and today we're going to be comparing an Iowa bill to erasing an entire group of people. Interesting, right? Check it out.
In the fall of 2023, the Governor's Education Bill, Senate File 496, is going to go into effect for school districts across Iowa. A lot of people don't know what this bill means and how it's going to affect children and families in kindergarten through 6th as well as kindergarten through 12th grade, so I'm going to break it down for you. The bill bans sexual orientation and gender identity instruction in kindergarten through 6th grade.
Nice.
This has a lot of far-reaching implications that I'm going to talk about later on.
Okay.
It also requires that school districts provide no accommodations without written parental consent for students who express gender identity differences than the sex assigned at birth.
Nice.
So if a child asks for accommodations in a change for their name at school, or to be used different pronouns, or to use a unisex bathroom, that has to have written parental consent.
Right.
And school staff are required to notify parents when students express that request. The bill also requires educators to call DHS if they believe that outing the child would cause a risk to that child's safety. There's already a huge lack of foster families for students in Iowa. So adding children to that because of their gender identity and being forced to report to their parents their gender identity is going to be a whole other thing added to child protective services in Iowa.
Yeah, pause it. Yeah, well, it is child abuse to raise your child like that. So if they're not going to call, I will. But go ahead.
This bill also bans books deemed sexually explicit or not age appropriate for school libraries. This has a lot of implications, as we've seen recently from Urbandale, which has removed almost 400 titles from their libraries, many classics that we read growing up, as well as simple picture books or chapter books for children that even have a gay character in it, even if it's not talked about in the book. Yeah, school districts are interpreting the promotion of political agenda to also include displaying pride flags, anything related to the LGBTQ movement. So they're not allowed to display it in their rooms or wear it. Oftentimes when people think about sexual...
Well, pause it. I wonder, okay, so she's against taking pride flags out of schools for, by the way, K through 6th grade kids, little children. I wonder how she would feel about that guy who got suspended from school for wearing the Gadsen flag on his Gadsen patch on his bag. He got called into the administrator's office with his mom. Man, actually, we got to react to that maybe. But he literally got called into the office with his mom and some administrator lady, saying that it has ties to slavery. And the mom is sitting there with her baby, right? She's sitting there with her baby, and then the kid is on the other side, and the mom, and then the administrator's on the other side of the table, and she's like, "This is part of the Revolutionary War. Like, this is basic history." Like, the mom is just straight up like, it's actually funny that these public school administrators think the Gadsen flag, out of all flags, that literally just says "Don't tread on me." I wonder what that means, by the way. Don't tread on me. That doesn't have anything to do with slavery. But anyway, I wonder how this lady would feel about that. I wonder if she feels that we should just get rid of all, if either we get rid of all flags or we should allow all flags, or should we get rid of some flags and keep some flags? I would love to see her reaction to that. By the way, keep in mind, these are K through 6th grade. Like, these aren't like high school, junior high. These are like kids. These are little kids who have no business even really knowing about gay sex. But go ahead. I'll let her continue.
Orientation and gender identity, they only think about the LGBTQ community. But heterosexuality and cisgender are a sexual orientation and a gender identity. That means that not only can we not teach bullying lessons or anti-bullying lessons that include talking about how you shouldn't bully someone.
Pause it. This is ridiculous. Now she's dragged this law to say that now they're only excluding LGBTQ identities from our schools. So that means that if you're teaching a lesson on bullying, you can't even mention not to bully someone who happens to be a gay 3-year-old. That's basically what she's saying, which is absolutely ridiculous. Like, if you bully someone, whether their race is, whether their gender identity is, whether their sexual orientation is, you get in trouble in school. You get sent to the office, you get sent to ISS, you get suspended, you get kicked out of school. It all applies the same. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, and by the way, the bill has nothing like that in it. Absolutely nothing. It doesn't even mention it. This is just something that she's making up in her head to convince herself that she's getting oppressed by some bill that has nothing to do with her in the first place. But I'll let her keep lying. Go ahead.
Because of their sexual orientation and gender identity, we also can't teach lessons related to gender.
What? Pause it. Why are little kids learning about gender stereotypes in careers when they're still coloring in their coloring books? They're not even thinking about how Delta treats women versus men, okay? They're not even thinking about how Walmart has certain parameters against men and all the pay inequality in gender. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, this is absolutely, like, what is she talking about? And again, this bill, even if kids were learning about equality in the workplace, which I don't know why, that shouldn't even be in the curriculum. Like, they're not working in 6th grade, but like, that's the highest grade that we're talking about here. So no one's working at that time. But even if, like, let's just say if this bill has nothing to do with teaching about how to treat a woman or how to treat a man in the workplace, I don't even know what she's talking about. I think she's just trying to add stuff on top of the thing and to make it seem bad. I don't understand, but keep going.
Are most likely to divert from STEM careers because of gender stereotypes. We have families, we have children who are a part of this community in our K-6 schools. And when somebody with the authority of a teacher discusses the way that the world is, and you do not see yourself represented in it, there's a quote that says, there's a moment of disequilibrium as if you looked into a mirror and saw nothing. And that is what the Iowa legislature and Governor Kim Reynolds are doing.
Pause it right there. Hang on. Can you go back to where it popped up where it said SSF is like an erasure of a group of people? The bill, I think. It popped up for a brief second there. I just want to see that again. I want the people to see that.
There's a quote that says, there's a moment of disequilibrium as if you looked into a mirror and saw nothing. And that is what the
SF496 is a erasure of a group of people. Pause it. So, okay. So, the bill that bans porn in schools, that basically gives parents a heads up, like, hey, your child today wanted to use a gender neutral bathroom. Hey, your child wants to change his or her name. Hey, your child wants to do this, and this. By the way, K through 6th grade. We're talking about little kids, okay? Hey, your child wants this sex surgery. Hey, your child wants to start like doing this. Hey, your child is seeing this counselor. That is the same thing as erasing a group of people. Now, we know that erasing a group of people is called genocide or something like that. I'm pretty sure that's a proper term. So I think it's fair to say that this lady is comparing a stupid Iowa bill that is doing common sense things like, yeah, kids should not be watching porn in classroom. Like, okay, yeah, sure. She's equating that somehow to genocide. It's great. I love how these people just lie. They deceive themselves. And they do all this stuff to try to get to our kids, right? And it's funny. It's great. I don't understand how people come to these conclusions and how people reach this stuff, but as you guys can see, it's more of a reach, right? They're just reaching for more stuff, just like big tech is reaching for our data. They're reaching for our information. They're reaching for our rights. They're reaching to silence us, right? All these reasons that they come up with to ban conservatives from social media platforms, they're reaching, right? They're saying, oh, you're doing this, and then they pick out some video or something that you said, and they reach. They have to do that, right? Just like this lady's reaching, that's what they do, which is why we here at RSBN highly recommend you use ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN, amazing website. Basically, it gives you a really good way to keep yourself from being tracked from your data or your information online. Have you guys ever wondered how basically YouTube, Google, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, or X now makes all their money? Well, they basically do this by, like I said, they track your searches, they track your video history, everything you click on is tracked, and then they build a huge profile on you and sell off all of your sensitive data. Now, when you use ExpressVPN app on your phone or a computer or your tablet, you basically become anonymous, and a lot of your online presence is hidden by hiding your IP address, and that makes your activity much more difficult to trace and sell to advertisers. Now, what's more is that ExpressVPN encrypts 100% of your network data to protect you from eavesdroppers and cyber criminals or anyone that's trying to stalk you. What I like most about this is that it's easy to use. I mean, it just takes one click to protect all of your devices, and that's why ExpressVPN is rated #1 by Tech Radar. So, guys, let's stop allowing big tech to rob us of our right to free speech and silence us, and let's stop giving them their ability to reach to silence us. And let's take away their right to do that by going to expressvpn.com/RSBN for 3 months free of an annual subscription. Again, that is expressvpn.com/RSBN. Now, as I was saying, this is what they did with the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Nothing like that was in the bill, and they took DeSantis' bill and they put it in the media, and then you saw what happened. DeSantis got railed by the media and by leftists and talking heads, and many people were deceived. Many people were strayed away from the truth, but that's not true. And it's the same thing with this bill. They're doing the same thing. We have to remember too, it's almost election season. They're pulling out all the guns. They're doing everything they can to deceive you and your kids and your family. We have to be on guard, okay? We have to be watching everything that our kids are seeing. We have to be watching everything that's going on around us. Pay attention to the people who are saying certain things and how they say it, such as this lady, because we just caught so many lies in that, and just how much she was reaching. It's ridiculous. And stuff like that is just crazy to me, and how people just eat it up. There's people out here that eat that stuff up. And sadly, I was one of those people not too long ago, but thank God I found freedom from that. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Wasn't that crazy, by the way? Like, the lady is comparing some bill to literally genocide, but whatever. I mean, the comparisons are crazy. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video, and have a good rest of your week. God bless. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and X. And be sure to hit that follow button and that join button. It'll take you over to our local channel where you can further support the show and get access to some additional content. God bless.